everybody, and the 3-4 people who clicked on this video after seeing the catfish thumbnail. I'm very grateful to you. Please stick around and subscribe, maybe. I don't know, I don't care. इतनी performative हूँ मैं. So, we have 250 philosophical questions. I feel like an angel right now. So why am I making this video? Because I have nothing better to do? No, I have a lot of better things to do. Why am I making this video? Well, I want to speak to somebody. Yeah, I want to speak to this one person, but I don't know where he is right now. So I'm gonna speak to you. Yay, yesterday I posted so many stories. He saw 3 of them. He liked 3 of them, but he did not see the rest. Yeah. So, the first question from parade.com is happiness just chemicals flowing through your brain or something more? They are chemicals. Happiness is chemical. Like, if you block that part of your brain, you won't be happy. Like, there are those people, anedoic people, cannot gather pleasure from activities that are supposed to be pleasurable. So yeah, it's just chemicals. If there are mental disorders, obviously it's just chemicals. Happiness is just chemicals. How is happiness secreted? Like, if you study the science of it, it would make so much more sense to put happiness as just chemicals, right? You can go on and be poetic about key. When you see that person, you feel happy, blah, 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 whatever. That's just poetry. Everything is gorish. Blood is blood till you make it poetic, right? So that is just, what will we say, losing consciousness, right? Till you make it poetic, being equated with the god of death. Like, yeah, romanticize everything. People have been starting to romanticize everything, to be honest, and it's very cute. I also do that. So why did I show you that? It's cute, right? Yeah, so yeah, happiness is just chemicals. Next question is, can we really know everything? My question is, can we really know anything to its truest form? Can you really know yourself to your truest form? Who are you? I question that every day, you know? Humans have become so one-dimensional, don't you think? It's impossible to imagine a person as somebody else next day. I don't know why. Why can't people change overnight? Is it that difficult? People say that people cannot change, and yeah, in a sense that is fair. But is that true? Because I have seen myself changing a lot of times, but that's just me. I cannot stay in one form. Like, that doesn't seem very corporeal to me, to be honest. Are you a ghost? How can you stay as the same person every day? How can you stand that? Right now, I'm feeling very zen. Right, but in another moment, I would not feel like this anymore. Is it so difficult to change your feelings every 10 minutes? Every 10 minutes is an exaggeration. Like, I don't know. Imagine your life in like episodes, and you have free will, you know? I think people really forget the concept of free will. You can do whatever you want, really. Sorry, I'm an absurdist. You can do whatever you want in your life. It is yours. Just fuck everything up. Don't fuck everything up. I always have plan B. That's just me. I'm spontaneous as fuck. And I just make videos and I'm bored whenever I get bored and I want to speak. You know, one thing about pop culture also is how one-dimensional and how, yeah, one-dimensional it can be. Like, a singer has to change their identity in every 10 years or so, I guess. Like Taylor Swift once said, she has different eras. Why? Like, you see Chapel Roan, she's going to stay in that state so that people who resonate with that state can relate. Every singer has a different personality that suits the people, that suits their audience, you know. And the singer has to maintain that identity and keep customizing it, you know, with time. So yeah, it's actually quite crazy and very concealing for that singer. Like, yeah, I don't know how people can do that. Having eras as a free person must be very tiring, to be honest, especially for an artist. Choose an identity and be like that. Unless you're a female artist, you have to like change your fashion with time. Male artists don't really do that. there can be a whole separate video about this. Except I'll actually do research. Actually, I have exams, so I haven't really done any research and just started babbling about this philosophical questions like I actually read a lot of books. I do not. Sorry. What is the meaning of a good life? A meaning of a good life is, according to me, if you have bread on the table, you have a shelter, you have people, that's good life. What else do you want? I'm having a good life right now. For if somebody else with a lot less than me was living my life, he or she would feel satisfied, yeah. But do I feel satisfied? No. I have a lot of things I want to do. And then I call myself an absurdist. Like, I'm not. I mean, is striving for whatever you want is being an absurdist? It's not. Like, I believe life is purposeful. Or I want to make it purposeful. I just want to be happy because I'm on this planet, right? So I have to work. That's just how it is. But for some people, having a good life might mean having a bungalow and cars and everything. Is there a God? No. A few days ago, I saw a reel, God's plan. Please don't let bro plan again. And it was actually quite funny. God. I think people like believing in a concept of God, that somebody cares for them and it's a person testing you. And I think that is absurd. Because why would a person who loves you want you to suffer? Are these tests of God really fair? How does God expect you to believe in Him after you read some of His texts? And then He tests you, gives you a hard life, and then sees if you're still faithful to Him, even though since your birth He has done nothing for you to believe that He is real. That is very narcissistic of God. How can He expect you to believe in Him after you see some old texts from old books? And those old books are heavily altered by people. And then He tests you? And tests what? Your kindness? No. He tests your devotion to Him. For what? For heaven. Your soul gets to live a good life. That's you being driven by greed, right? And that's somebody very narcissistic, to be honest, who is actually testing your greed. Because you don't want hell, right? You want heaven. So be good, pray, have blind faith. Think about it. It's crazy, actually. What in life is truly objective and not subjective? I'm sorry, actually there was this noise and then my brother comes into my room saying, "Did you hear the noise? Let's go check it out." Yeah, sure. If a man with a knife is out there ready to kill, we should go check it out. What do you mean check it out? Let it be. Like, do you want to die? Then, if you want to, be my guest. Go on. I locked the door. I did not lock the door. Actually, the door does not open if you close it. So I just stood there waiting for him to come. But he had the stick in his hand, so yeah. But like, if you want to kill yourself, go ahead. Why would you check a noise out? There might be a prepared murderer there waiting. That does not sound very smart. And joke's on me when I said I want to die, but I would leave my brother out. That tells you a lot about me, does it not? I'm a very good person, and trust me. So, I wanted to speak more about the existence of a God. I have this friend who told me she stopped believing in God after she saw people spending so much on mandirs and like in the daan wala box, and that money just goes to the development of the mandir and not charity and everything. And there were beggars outside, but people, instead of giving money to beggars, they added to a daan kirtan thingy, daan dakshina something outside the mandir. And yeah, and one of the reasons I stopped believing in God was because the people who believe in God that are close to me are the worst people I've ever seen. They would tell me they pray every day and then act like they don't know the difference between right and wrong. And that sucks actually. That actually sucks so bad. And every day I would see those people do kirtans and arti, and they tell me to soak up all the blessings. Good things will happen. Why would you pray for only good things to happen? Like, that's kind of selfish. Does God teach you to be selfish? What does God teach you, bro? Like, does God teach you or you just beg God? Is there a difference? You praise God and want to be paid for praising God. So, is praying your job? What is praying to you? Just reciting shlokas you don't even know the meaning of? Huh? And every day I saw those shlokas being recited every day, every morning. I stopped waking up at mornings. I started waking up at afternoons. Yeah. So, yeah. That's why I stopped believing in God. If you want to believe in God, please be nice. Like, be nice people, be nice humans. I think that's what God wants if there is one. What in life is truly objective and not subjective? Objective, there are math. I googled really about this one. What do you mean by objective and what do you mean by subjective? So I read this article and it was talking about the end of life and the beginning of life is objective, other things are subjective. And some said happiness is objective, what makes you happy is subjective. I'll think about this more because it's kind of actually thought provoking. The site stands for its words. Yay! What is truly objective and not subjective? If you divide this into subjects, it would just mean math and arts, right? But we as humans, we like symmetry, right? So that makes art subjective in a way, art objective in a way. Art is both subjective and objective. You liking art makes it subjective. Like, which type of art do you like? You know? What do I mean by objective? An objective thing is something that can be defined, but almost everything can be defined because everything is limited. I'll ponder about this. What in life is truly objective and truly is not subjective? Everything objective has to be subjective and vice versa, right? What do you mean by consciousness? Consciousness is the blood flowing in your body. Consciousness is feeling it heat up. What am I saying? But consciousness to me is awareness, and ignorance is the opposite of consciousness according to me. Ignorance is bliss. Consciousness is whatever is the opposite of bliss. Consciousness is awareness, right? So if you are actually aware, you wouldn't be so happy. That means happiness is also not really a chemical, but that's also very subjective. Yay. Is there inherent order in nature, or is it all chaos and chance? Through chaos, order is built. If there was no chaos in the first place, there would be no need of order. And if there was no need for an order, means there was no chaos. So everything was built because of chaos, and chaos happened through chance, what I would say. Is there an alternative to capitalism? Progressivism, but it's also very acutely similar to capitalism. Um, yeah. Am I a capitalist? Yes, I am. But I think all forms of government are fucked. So, if there is, I believe in rights, and that's obviously any human would believe in rights unless you're being profited off the cut off rights of others. Is it more important to be respected or liked? More important, if you're liked, you have to be respected. If you are liked but you're not respected, then what's the point of being liked? Respected matters more than if you hate somebody but they have to respect you at least. I don't really care about people respecting me, I just don't like them being straight up rude. So, yeah. Are we in the matrix? Yes, we are. How we become less happy in this age of technology? By not being on your phone. Because a phone basically algorithm is built upon your dopamine hits. What is mathematics? It's very objective. Mathematics is basically imaginary numbers. I hate mathematics, by the way. Humans obligated to better themselves. They are not. It is totally dependent on the human being themselves. I believe human beings can be awful if they want to be. It's their decision. Obviously, if they're being awful to you, you have to control it. But if I want to be an awful person, I'll be. But you should be ready for the consequences of being an awful person. I believe in karma. But karma doesn't believe in me because everybody. No, actually. People who are rude to me have bad downfalls. Is there a meaning to life? No. We live on a floating rock. But yeah, nihilism, there should be. Like, even if there's no meaning to life, you should build your own because you're in this earth anyway, fucker. Deal with it. Is having a big ego a negative or positive trait? I am not a black or white person. I would tell you both sides. If you have a big ego, it means that you win almost everything you set yourself to, I guess, but having a big ego also leads to many ego clashes and hatred and everything. And you would be humbled eventually, you know? So, negative or positive trait? Having a huge ego helps you win debates. It gives you confidence. If you don't have an ego, you can see the machar, huh? If you don't have an ego and you are like, see, wait. In this day and age, you have to have an ego because obviously ego leads to confidence. People say ego and confidence are different things. Are they? Are they really? Confidence is being confident that you can do this. Ego is thinking that you are better than others when you do this. But it also leads to a confidence boost, doesn't it, having an ego? If you're egoistic but don't have any confidence, you suck, really. I have met people who don't have any confidence but have ego. कि नहीं मुझसे ये नहीं बोल सकता. But then they cannot speak in public. Yeah, it can be negative if you have no confidence as an egoistic person, but it is a very positive trait if you have confidence. It would make you overconfident, which is also bad. Everything is so gray, so much gray area, so everywhere, you know, because having confidence but no ego is also good. It makes you Socratarian? Huh. I don't know if I spoke it right. I don't know. Hmm. Is there absolute mortality? What do you mean? Okay. Is the most important purpose in life to find happiness? No. Many people have spent their life not being happy. Actually, everybody has spent their life in trying to be their version of happy. Do you think Marie Curie did not like her life? She loved it. She loved tinkering with her radioactive metals. Yeah, non-metals. Yeah, she did. So, do we have free will? I think we should have free will, but we are very confined. We have been encoded into this bubble where our whole life is a sphere. We cannot set out of it because of expectations and basic survival. Very sad. Does life require a purpose and a goal? One purpose? One goal? No. Would you kill 10 people to save 100? Yes. Why would you give me that decision to make, bro? What is happiness? Why does this question keep coming? Happiness is what builds your serotonin, whatever, dopamine and shit. But that's just temporary. Happiness is satisfaction that you get through your goals and achievements. It also builds up your ego and confidence. This is like the last four questions. How can people believe in truth without evidence? Are we talking about God, whose evidence people have are old books? Huh? Sorry, guys. If you want to shout at me, you can. I will read. Is it easier to love or to be loved? It's very easy to love other people. Being loved makes you all like, see, if you love a person, you would do labor for them. If you want to be loved by a person, that will also require you doing labor. I don't know. What's easier? I love easily. People love me easily. Not really. People love a version of me they have encoded in their minds. What is time? Time is nothing. Time is decided by our mortality and दिन जाता है फिरता रहता है because of sun. There's literally this light, this ball of light that decides our day. Do acts of kindness have a motive? When I'm kind to somebody, I expect them to smile in return. That's my motive.